Waves crash violently against the sides of a small ship, the howling wind drowning out the desperate shouts of terrified sailors. Lightning splits the sky, illuminating the chaos on deck. Barrels and cargo are hurled overboard in desperation. Prayers to foreign gods fill the air. And beneath it all, one question lingers. Why has this storm come upon us? But the answer lies below deck. Jonah lies in the shadows, asleep amidst the storm, oblivious to the pandemonium above. Suddenly, the door bursts open. The captain storms in, grabbing Jonah by the shoulders and shaking him awake. "How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us so that we will not perish." Jonah opens his eyes. The haze of sleep vanishes, replaced by a look of dread. He knows. He knows exactly why the storm rages. Hours earlier, Jonah had ignored a divine call from the Lord, saying, "Go to Nineveh, that great city, and speak against its wickedness. Their sins have risen before me." Jonah's expression had darkened. Nineveh, the city of his enemies, a place he would rather see destroyed than saved. "No," he muttered to himself, turning away from the call. Not Nineveh, anywhere but there. He had hurried down to Joppa, coins jingling in his hand. His eyes locked on a ship bound for Tarshish, the farthest place he could think of, away from Nineveh, away from God's command. He paid his fare, boarded the ship, and let the water carry him to what he thought was freedom. But freedom was an illusion. Back on the ship, the sailors' fear escalates. The storm grows fiercer, the waves threatening to tear the vessel apart. Someone shouts, "Come, let us cast lots to find out who is responsible for this calamity." The crew huddles, their hands trembling as they draw lots. One by one, they glance at the results, relief washing over their faces, until the lot falls on Jonah. Every head turns to him, their faces pale with dread. "Who are you?" one demands. "What have you done?" "I am a Hebrew," Jonah replies, his voice low but steady. "I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the land." The sailors gasp, their eyes widening. They don't need an explanation. They know this is Jonah's doing. The storm howls louder, as if the sea itself confirms it. "What must we do to stop this?" A sailor yells over the roar of the wind. Jonah's shoulders sag. He knows there is only one answer. "Throw me into the sea," he says, his voice barely audible. It's the only way to calm the storm. The sailors hesitate, their faces stricken with guilt. But as the storm grows even wilder, they see no other choice. They lift Jonah, praying desperately to Jonah's God. "Lord, do not hold us accountable for this man's life." With one final heave, they cast Jonah into the raging waters. The moment his body hits the sea, the storm stops. The waves settle, the wind dies, and an eerie silence falls over the ship. The sailors stare at the calm waters in awe and fear, realizing they have witnessed the hand of a God far greater than any they've known. Beneath the surface, Jonah sinks, his body tumbling into the dark depths. The light from above fades as the weight of his actions presses in on him. He closes his eyes, bracing for the end. But then, a shadow appears in the depths. It moves swiftly, growing larger with every second. Jonah's eyes widen in terror as a massive creature surges toward him, its gaping mouth opening wide. Before Jonah can react, he is swallowed whole. Inside the fish, Jonah kneels in utter darkness. The air is thick, the walls of the creature's stomach is slimy and unyielding. 3 days and 3 nights pass. The fish rises to the surface, its massive body breaking through the waves. With a mighty heave, it spits Jonah onto the shore. Jonah collapses onto the sand, coughing, gasping for air, the sunlight blinding him after days of darkness. He looks up at the horizon, his heart pounding. He knows there is no running now. The call to Nineveh still echoes in his mind. "This time, I will obey."